The next keyword that we have is limit. Again, you're going to use it very often, and I think I've used it earlier as well, and if not, then I'm going to explain it over here. So I've written down a query, select name from account, limit 10. So this query will limit the number of records that are going to be returned by this SQL query. So select name from account, it like this query like returns all the account objects record that are there with the field name. But when you write down limit 10, it limits the number of records that are going to return that will be returned by this particular SQL query, and it will only return the 10 account records which it got from this particular SQL query. It will be limited to 10. It will never go beyond 10, 11, 12. It will only be limited to 10. And if there are no if there are less than 10 records, then it will return that. Getting it? So if there are only 5 account objects record in your org, then this query will return 5 records because there are only 5 records. But limit is the range till which it can return the records. It cannot surpass the limit of the number of records that are returned by this particular SQL query because of this limit keyword. And I can write down any number over here with this limit keyword. Like I've written down select name from account, limit 1. So this will return a single account. This will never ever return more than one account object's record. And if this will have only one account record, why we are storing it into a list of account over here? As you can see, ACC list 5 is a list of account, right? So if this SQL query will return only one S object or one account record, then why we are storing it into a list? We can also store it into a single S object, and that is exactly what I have done over here in this example. Account A is equals to select name from account, limit 1. So this will also work, and this is absolutely fine. This will not give you any compile time error or any runtime error. But make sure, listen to me very carefully, make sure that the query that you have written down should only return one S object, or should only return one record. That's the only situation in which it can be stored into a single S object, just like this account A. If your query may return more than one record, then you should not use this statement, or you should not assign it to a single S object, otherwise there will be a runtime error. The next and a very simple keyword that we have with Apex is with SQL is for update. For update keyword is used to define that the records that we are fetching from this query are for updation, or we want to update these records. So if you specify for update, there is a lock that gets placed onto those records until you were finished with that particular program, so that no other user should be able to open it should be able to edit it and save it while you are performing an operation onto those particular records. So what all you have to do is select name and write down the query, whatever you have to write down, and to assign a log, or to create a log over the records that you're getting from this SQL query, just write down for update, and the lock will be placed, and this lock will be there until the execution of this program terminates. And after the execution, this lock will be opened automatically, so that the records which you have got from this should be available to edit by the other users as well, or should be available for the update by other users or other programs as well. Meanwhile, till when this program is executing, no other user or no other program will be able to edit or update the records which you have got from this particular SQL query. Now the last keyword that we have is all rows. Yes, all rows. So all rows keyword is basically used to specify that we want all the records that may or may not be into the recycle bin. So if you'll write down select name from account, it will only return the account objects record which are not into the recycle bin. But if you want the records which are into recycle bin as well, then in that case you need to write down all rows, just like this. Over here I've written down select name from account, all rows. So this will return the records, the records of the account object which are not into the recycle bin and which are into the recycle bin, both of them. But if I'll remove this all rows from here, if I'll remove it, then in that case it will not return me the records which are there into the recycle bin of account object. And if I want records which are only into the recycle bin, I do not want the records which are there in which are not into the recycle bin. If I want the records which are only into the recycle bin of that particular object, then I'll write down select name from account, where I'll put a condition over there, and inside where I'll write down is deleted equals to true, which means the records which are there into the recycle bin has the is deleted fields value set as true. There's no other difference. So if you write down is deleted is equals to true, that automatically refers to the records into the recycle bin. But with is deleted equals to true, you always have to use all rows keyword. And like if I'll write down this, like there's another example over here, select name from account where is deleted equals to true, it will not return any of the records because you haven't used all rows keyword. So that's what the motive of all rows keyword and all the keywords that we have discussed that works with SOQL. Hope you have got it.